Hi, it's me again. I've been away for a while, so I thought it was time I came back on and gave an update, talked about some stitching. It's been so long, I didn't even do a video in the month of December that I can't even show you everything that I have purchased or worked on because half of it I can't remember. In fact, I haven't done a video since before I went to my last retreat at Hobby House, which was like the first weekend of November. So it's probably been a couple months. I've got some espresso. This is like my 10th cup today. I'm either going to have a heart attack or be up till Sunday, but it doesn't feel like it's working, so I just keep chugging it. Okay, so I think I'll just do an update, show you what I have been stitching on. I'm not really going to do a shop update. Well, I guess I could do a couple sentences. As far as needle and flax, I'm Rachel, and I'm the dyer of Needle and Flax, and I'm a stitcher. That's why I'm doing Flosstube. I released a couple new colors, Mackinac Fudge and Furly, which I will show on another video. This is just slapped together, whatever. I had a pre-order for that before a couple weeks before Christmas. I had put that up, and I had a lot of orders. And with the holidays and everything, my hope was to get that all out before the Christmas break, because I did take a break from working between Christmas and New Year's, sort of. And I didn't get those all out, so I'm working on those now. I've had a couple of shop orders that have deadlines, so I've had to stop the customer orders, finish the shop orders. Now this weekend I'll be back to customer orders. So they're going out. A chunk of them have already gone out, and another chunk will go out at the beginning of the week. Today is January 5th. And another small shop update that I have is when I did that pre-order, I decided to open up all of my colors in 1-yard cuts. So that is pre-order, but that's going to be available. I'm just going to leave that open. So, smaller cuts, I will announce when I have those available either for pre-order or ready to ship on my Instagram, which is Needle and Flax. But I'm going to leave the 1-yard cuts open. That's another thing, is that when I opened the pre-orders for Mackinac Fudge and Furly, I had a lot of people ordering 1-yard cuts for colors that they were looking for. Those, I don't have a very specific time frame because my plan on those is really to incorporate them in a lot of my shop orders. Every week I'm doing shop orders, and every color that I make is usually ordered. There's only a few colors that aren't ordered very often. So those 1-yard cuts are going to filter into my shop orders, and you may wait a week. You may wait a couple days. You may wait a week, or you may wait 3 to 4 weeks for your colors or your bundle, depending. I mean, I had some people order 3, 4, and 5 yards of linen. So some of those orders will wait a little bit longer, but that is open. So if you have a favorite color of my linen and you would like to order a yard, that is on my website and available all the time now. So yeah, I had a heavy amount of orders, thought I could get it out before Christmas. Of course, I was way more optimistic than the reality was. So I'm back to work and trying to get that stuff done. That's all for right now, that's the only sort of shop update. Other than that, we'll just talk stitching. So since the last time I was here, let's see, I went to Hobby House for the Nicola Parkman Hands Across the Sea retreat. We had Thanksgiving. God, we had 2 holidays, Thanksgiving. And then just a few weeks later, of course, Christmas was here. I had the crappiest Christmas. I'm not going to lie. I had a horrible Christmas. We're on day 5 of 2024. It's been horrible. And I'm only saying that because so many times you see people say everything was wonderful and picturesque. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're in my camp and did not have a good holiday, you're not alone. I'm optimistic about it though. The kids and I were even talking, and I said, okay, so this Christmas stunk. I mean, just so many things were going on. That was another thing that interfered with my work. Some major personal, I won't even go into it, but a lot of things were happening. Ruined the holidays. No death in the family. I've had that happen at Christmas. That's much worse. but as close as you can get to that. That's what's been going on. So it wasn't a great Christmas, but I'm pretty optimistic. I'm already determined that I now have a year to make the next holiday season great. You know, just because of stuff going on, even sort of the little stupid things that we enjoy didn't get done. I didn't get my decorating done, didn't get my baking done. You know, those are the things that we enjoy, like watching the movies and playing games and spending family time in the lead up to Christmas. And we really didn't get to do that because of all these external things we can't control happening. And my kids are almost adults. And well, I have two adult children, 2 kids still at home. My son is a sophomore in high school. I only have a couple more years. I have a feeling that my middle daughter and my son are probably going to be leaving the home at the same time, which will be not great. I'd rather have them filter out, you know. So I'm really going to try in the next couple of years to sort of, you know, make holidays, not presents or Christmas, but just make them, you know, I'm almost at the end of sort of being the mom with kids. And so I'm going to try and enjoy it. And I'm optimistic about this 2024 year. I think for a lot of the holidays, I'm going to try and take breaks from work, you know, a nice Thanksgiving break, a nice Christmas break, and really make sure that, barring anything happened like this Christmas, that we just enjoy time spent together in the next couple of years. So even though Christmas was awful, 2024 is shaping up, at least this week has been awful. I'm optimistic that things will get better. God, I hope they don't get worse. So, you know, that's all I have to say. If you had a not that great holiday, hey, the Lord willing, we'll be here next year. And, you know, we'll just try to make next time a better one, if possible. Okay, now I'm looking at the door. See, I don't think I can ever film a video without interruptions or pauses. I think I'm going to have to pause this 1 second. Hold on. Okay, well, what would a video for me be without me having a little glitch because I had to pause and say, hold on a minute. Okay, well, onward. Okay, so what did I do? So, okay, I went to the Hobby House retreat. It was fantastic. Met a lot of great people. It was fun because I got to see a lot of people that were there last year for their very first retreat with Nicola well, their first retreat ever, and the first time that Nicola had gone to Hobby House. So a lot of those people came back. It was fun to see people again. It was fun to meet a lot of new people that were there. I'm not going to really do a rundown of the retreat, and the only reason I'm mentioning it is because I did buy some things at Hobby House that have literally been on a chair in my room since then that I have not looked through. And I went through this morning. In fact, there's candy in there, which I could have used that chocolate quite a few times over the last couple months. Totally forgot. But I mostly was with Brenda and Laura, Brenda and the Cereal Starter. I was at their table. I hung out with them the whole time. They did a video with a great recap showing all the treats that everybody gave. And I basically had the same experience they did. So if you want to know how that retreat was, go back and watch their video where they recap it, because I don't have much to say that's any different. We got some great little treats from really kind people and creative people that pass out things at, you know, to different tables, and it was just fun. It was fun. For 2024, I am going back to Hobby House twice next October. I swear that's going to kill me because I drive and it's like 10.5 hours. So I'm going back to the My Life as a Sampler retreat with Tanya from Scarlet House and Vicki from Needlework Press. And they also are having the Great British Sampler Weekend with Nicola Parkman. They're literally like 2.5, 3 weeks apart. I'm insane for doing that, but those are really my only retreats next year. And then I think in 2025, I probably, who knows? I say I'm probably not going to do any retreats, or very little. Who knows? I don't know what's going to come up or planned that I may want to hop in on. So for 2024, I will be going back to Hobby House and doing both of those retreats. I have a friend get together in the spring. And I do plan on doing some summer, like weekend road trips, couple day trips, couple of concerts. We have tickets to one concert in Detroit, which won't be a big deal. And then yesterday, Billy Joel just announced that he's going to do another night with Stevie Nicks in Chicago. And the tickets go on sale Sunday. And my daughter Natalia was like, can we please go to that again? That was amazing. So I'm debating it. We'll see how much the tickets cost. And I may go again because that was an amazing concert. And Chicago's, 4.5 hours for me. It's not a big deal to drive down there. So, the last few summers you've seen me going to a lot of concerts with my girls, and I know we have one scheduled this summer, and I may do Billy Joel, Stevie Nicks again, because even my girls said that was their top concert they've been to. So, might do that again, and I think I'm going to do some weekend trips. I'm definitely going to be in Ohio a few times doing some antiquing and thrifting. I'd like to go back to see Little Creek Needleworks again. There's a few things actually that are down in southern Michigan and Detroit that I kind of have my eye on going down for maybe a couple days and just taking a break when the weather is nice, and the tourists are all in northern Michigan, so in some ways it's kind of nice to get out once in a while and go somewhere where there aren't 80 million tourists. So we'll see. That's my plans for the coming year that I know of. Let's hope things go well. So I'm going to show you what I got from Hobby House and what I've been working on. I actually had a couple of finishes. So I guess I could go, let me see. Let me just show you what I've worked on since I last filmed that I can remember, because there's been a few times where I've had maybe a couple hours of night of stitching and I've picked stuff up, but not had enough time to make progress to show you anything. And half of it I probably forget. Okay, so when I went to Hobby House, I took a couple of projects to work on, and I really got sucked into, I took my Mary Bailey from the Scarlet House, and that was the first retreat I've been to where I actually stitched. Nicola's retreats are very sort of like, it's like sitting in a classroom. They're not, I don't know how to say this. They're not like a social time. They're kind of more like a learning retreat. So it's very organized, and she talks most of the time. And then we just have short little breaks. So it's not a casual retreat, but people do stitch while she's talking. And it's nice because just like when you're stitching, like watching TV, you can kind of listen and stitch and listen and stitch. So you're not really interacting with your table mates as much as you're listening to what's being taught. And I'm assuming she does all of her, I've only been to 2 of her retreats, but that's how they both were. Okay, so I really got into, I had taken I'll show you this one. Okay, so I took 2 projects with me that I thought might be something that I would work on. One thing I took with me, which I ended up working on New Year's Eve, I pulled out. I didn't pull it out at the retreat, but I pulled it out on New Year's Eve because I'm in the mood for samplers, and I'm in the mood to really maybe stitch some sort of patriotic stuff. Summertime, and just nothing seasonal, but patriotic and reproductions. So anyway, I took Plum Street's A New Constellation, because this whole section here is fill-in, and I thought perfect for a retreat. I have enough here that I can start filling in this light blue. Well, I never pulled it out, but I did pull it out on New Year's Eve. And I really got into it. I wasn't doing the fill-in. I decided to work a little bit more on the outer border. And Paulette, I have the pattern here in my haul. She released the Mayflower sampler, which is the next one I want to do. So there's there's 4 in sort of the patriotic ones. She did American Sampler, which I finished. That's finished and framed. Then she came out with this one, which is Betsy Ross. It's A New Constellation. Then she did a suffragette one that's in the Rhode Island style. And then she had a exclusive that was the Mayflower sampler that is now a general release. So I'm going to skip over the suffragette one, do the Mayflower, and then go back and do the stuff because I want them all done. And when we were in Amana in the spring, she says she has more of these planned. So that'll be fun. they're just going to keep on going because they're very fun to stitch. So I worked on this a little bit, and I just kind of finished the people. I worked a little bit more in the border, did more of this border. I didn't stitch a lot on New Year's Eve. I had big plans, but again, I just wasn't in the, I was in the right mind. I don't know. Just, you know what? I wasn't in the right frame of mind. Stitching was the last thing on my mind. I had all this other stuff I was stressing about, and it was hard to relax. So, but I did get a couple hours in. I made it till about 11:30 and then decided sleep was more important. So I took that to Hobby House, but I never pulled it out. This is actually in a legit project bag. This is a Dot Dot Goose. It's flowers with a flag in it. Whatever. So I took that, but what I ended up pulling out was Mary Bailey by the Scarlet Letter, and I really got sucked into it. And then when I got home, I worked on it. I had a few nights, maybe like the week after or so, where I pulled it out, but I really wanted to start working on some of my Christmas things. So I put it away, even though I didn't want to. And my plan is to really work on it again in 2024 and really plug away at it. Because it was fun. I had fun stitching on this. So that's Mary Bailey by Scarlet. Did I say Scarlet House? Scarlet Letter. Okay, a lot of people asked, even when I was at the retreat, people were coming up asking which type of chart was this Scarlet Letter, because she's been doing stuff for so long. Sometimes you buy the charts that are the big fold out, sometimes they're still handwritten. They're just all over the place depending on when she published them and whether she's redone them. Mary Bailey is sort of in the middle. I'm just going to flash real quick. It's booklet form. Glossy pages, but it's black and white. Her newer ones now she does do in color, and they're booklet form like this. So this one, if you order it from Scarlet Letter, it is a booklet updated, you know, not a roadmap. Chart. Oh my gosh. I think in 2024 I also have no brain power. Okay. It's big, and I'm doing it on 36 because I wanted it big. And this is just a 36 antique white, antique ivory. They don't make antique ivory in the higher counts. I don't know if they do in the lower counts because I don't stitch on a lot of 32 or like 28. But I know they don't sell this in like 40 or 46. So it's antique ivory, which is a little bit, it's brown. It's like a light brown color. So I worked on the border a little bit, and then I was kind of plugging away at the house at the retreat. So there's a lot of over one up there. And this grass and all that stuff at the bottom, that's not even as many rows as it goes across. So there is, and this is why I took it, because I thought I can get going on the house. I don't know, this grass is like 6 or 8 rows deep, and I think I've only got like 4 rows. So like this going all the way across is going to be a lot of fill in. And I think if I remember right, I did a little bit more of the border. The border's easy. It's real spaced out. It's not labor intensive. So yeah, I was working on that. I love this sampler. I think it's going to be gorgeous. Once I am done with this middle section with the house and the trees and the grass, everything below it is kind of smaller motifs that I think it'll, the top half is slightly labor intensive, and then the bottom half I think will probably be even quicker, but it's enjoyable the whole way. So I worked on that, which was fun. And that is in my plans for 2024 to work on. So that's what I worked on at Hobby House. Try and put this together since I'm disorganized here. I'll show you what I bought at Hobby House. Now, I mentioned when I went, I think my thing when I go to Hobby House, since I've already been like 3 times and I have a few more times planned, and I'm sure I'll go back again because it's easy it's a great shop. It's easy for me to get there. And, you know, I don't know. I guess in a way, it's one of the shops that I can frequent quite a bit without too much expense or um, effort to get there. And Kathy and David are fantastic. So, you know, I can see myself being at a lot of hobby house events over the next years. So I had said they carry these shaker boxes that a local man there in New York makes. And I can't remember if I bought any in September when I was there. I don't think I did. No, I did. I bought a small one. And I thought, I'm going to get because every time I was there, I bought a shaker box. I'm going to get a shaker box every time I'm there. Well, when I was there in November for the Hands Across the Sea thing, they were really low on stock. They only had a few shaker boxes, and the ones that they had were ones that I already own, not necessarily by that woodworker, but they were the same size or the same thing that I own. I wanted a divided tote carrier. They had a couple, but they were not what I was looking for because the inside of the tote was also divided. And I wanted one that was open so that I could do smalls like Carol Saltbox. And they didn't have any of those that time. So the only thing they had, which is fine because I didn't have any of these either. And these, I did not buy them because they're Christmassy. I just bought them because they're colors that I don't have. But I got these two little tiny round ones, a green and a red. And, you know, when I got them, I thought, oh, I could put those out for Christmas together. But I don't like red and, I'm not going to have red and green together during the year. So they will be separated in my house. God, that green looks bright on the camera. But I got these two. And I thought, you know, for throwing needles or using them for orts or whatever. So I did get shaker boxes, but not really what I intended on. So next time, hopefully next time they have a selection that I can look through and see what I can add to my collection. So I got those. I didn't buy a lot when I was there. I mostly bought patterns. And, I bought a lot of stuff. Well, both times I spent more probably at the wool shop than in the cross stitch shop. So at the wool shop, they had these. I thought these were kind of cute. It's like a little paddle with a pin cushion that somebody had made. They were inexpensive. They were like maybe 12 bucks, 16 bucks. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It has a hole, so you could hang it somewhere. But, I mean, real easy to like throw on your nightstand if you stitch in bed, or your side table in your living room, or wherever to put your pins in. I just thought that was cute. It was kind of inexpensive. I got, well, it was inexpensive. I don't know if somebody made this or they're manufactured, but I got a little, and my dog has left a little dog hair on it. A little, what are the tape measure? I thought that was cute. And then I got patterns. So one of the things I was doing is, I think I said last time, I've been working on punch needle. I don't know if I said it, but I have been. So I was like, well, I'm going to get some punch needle patterns. Because when I don't get a lot of time at night to stitch, I thought, well, I can punch needle and actually make progress on some projects. And so I've been doing punch needle. I get a lot farther if I only have 30 minutes or an hour on a punch needle than I do on a cross stitch. So I've kind of been doing both, and I thought, well, I'm going to get some punch needle at Hobby House. So I got Threads That Bind, Deck the Halls. Now, of course, this is before Christmas, so I thought I would be starting some of these during November and December, and they've been in a bag in my bedroom the entire time. But there's more Christmases to come. I got this Teresa Kogut punch needle. It's called Home. Oh, maybe that's all that's all the punch needle I bought. I thought I bought a ton. Well, I know I've bought other punch needles since that time period, so at some point you'll see it all. I got 2 punch needle patterns. I got this wool applique pattern by Maggie Bononomy, and it's called Glory Be. Who knows when I'll do that. I have some winter kits I never even pulled out this year. Oh, and the cross stitch pattern that I bought at Hobby House at the cross stitch shop, Scarlet Letter has a few new releases that they've had. I think they came out maybe in like November. And I hadn't bought this one yet, Agnes Binney. And it's a Scottish sampler, which I thought was very pretty. So I didn't buy any thread, I just bought the pattern. There's a couple other ones. This one is my favorite of her new releases. So there is another one, though, I'd like to get, and I can't remember her name. So that's what I bought at Hobby House. That was kind of my Hobby House experience. What else did I do? So then we had Thanksgiving. That was a short little break. I did take that weekend, but was Christmas shopping, cooking, cleaning. I thought I would take the full weekend off. I didn't. I ended up working that weekend a bit. Let's see what else came along. I did the Jingle Ball. I did not hop into any of the rooms or tables because I'm just not that kind of girl. But I did do the Jingle Ball. It was very fun. A lot of the videos were fun. And then some friends and I, who all of us were not really into hopping into the stitching tables with people we don't know, we ended up, I think Friday or Saturday night doing a Zoom. So that was fun. There was like 4 of us on a Zoom, and we stitched and chatted and all that. So that was a very fun weekend. And I really joined the Jingle Ball for the Teresa Kogut stuff. So I had my alarm set. As soon as the Jingle Ball started, I hopped right into Teresa's room and ordered everything I could. So I did get the full kit of Santa's Delivery. I loved these, the punched paper pieces. I'll try and get those done for next year. I got a few PDF downloads, which I didn't bring to show you, but I did. The only person I bought from was Teresa Kogut because her stuff was great. So I got the whole kit. So I did get the wood pieces already. And immediately after I ordered this, of course, she has talked about not being able to find the black perforated paper. I found it right away, like literally within minutes of ordering this kit. I bought it from a shop that sells on eBay. And so I do have the paper. I do have the black perforated paper. So hopefully I'll do that this year. Jingle Ball was fun. I think I'll do it next year for 10 bucks. It's totally worth it. I also think that I love how the designers were showing previews of what they'd have in their shops. Because, you know, for 10 bucks to get access to that, it was fantastic. It was fun. So I'm going to do it again next year. What else? Okay, so then I worked on some Christmas stuff. If you watch Liz, the Wandering Stitcher, she and I were chatting one day, and I think it was when Country Sampler had their Christmas open house. Stacy Nash was she released some animal crackers there. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not really into the weenie dogs. They were a couple of weenie dogs. They're adorable, and at some point I could do them. I do have the patterns, but it just sort of brought up the whole animal cracker thing and how adorable they are. So both Liz and I started it. I was telling her this, and she said, oh my gosh, I love those too. And she and I both started Whitaker, which is one of the snowmen. There's Whitaker and Paisley, so there's a male. Pretty much for all of her animal crackers, there's like a male-female counterpart. So like there's a boy cat and a girl cat, and there's a boy bunny and a girl bunny, and a boy snowman and a girl snow lady woman. So Whitaker's the boy, Paisley is the girl. I have all of the animal cracker patterns that I would like to stitch. I just think they'd be so cute in like a little basket. So here's Whitaker. Liz and I both started this around the same time. I didn't work on it very much. But again, I thought fill in, easy. Picking a fabric was rough. I didn't do myself a service picking this fabric, so I'll give you a little PSA for this one. The called for linen is, excuse me a moment, I'm blind. Dixie Sampler Olive Leaf. So it's kind of a dark khaki color. I had to change my white, and I'm actually, you almost can't even, oh, I still have the hoop in it. See, this is how wonderful things are. I didn't want to waste an overdyed linen because linen is expensive. So I wanted to just do a basic, more inexpensive linen. I should have gone a little darker. I had to change the white to B5200 because my linen is a little lighter. So this is what I have done so far. So I have his head, and then I'm going down here on the shoulders, and then he'll have, the pants will really help make this pop. So I'm just using 36 count light mocha, which is a basic Zweigart. It's not overdyed. It's not an expensive linen. The definition on him, okay, so if you see on the pattern, you know, you can see where his legs are split, and then there's a little bit of fabric that shows through where his arms are. I think it would probably be better with a darker linen. Maybe even if you took a platinum or a light mocha and you maybe did like a walnut crystal wash or something, so that when you stitch the white, you can really see that definition in the legs and arms. It'll be fine. But I think I would have rather done a little darker linen. And the white a lighter white would have popped better. I had to do such a bright white to make it show on this light linen that whatever, you live, you learn. So I'm doing 36 because that's what she called for, and I really wanted him to be a nice size. I don't want him teeny tiny. I can't remember what Liz said she was going to do. She might be doing 40 or 46. You'd have to go back and watch. She is the Wandering Stitcher on YouTube, and she talks about it. She hasn't had her YouTube for very long. Maybe 2 videos ago, maybe. So if you want to see her talk about what she's doing. I can't remember what I'm doing. How am I supposed to remember what the Wandering Stitcher is doing? I don't. Yeah, so I want to do the animal crackers. I'd like to just kind of roll through them. I think the next one I want to do is one of the bunnies for spring. And I may have like a winter and spring one kind of going at the same time. So I started that. I worked on this one, this Christmas one. Okay, I'm almost done. I was almost done last year. But again, I haven't had a lot of time to work on it. So it's Farmstead Christmas by Plum Street. And Country Sampler had done a version of this on Murky, which is by Picture This Plus. I always wanted to do it. They did that probably like 5 years ago. It was a long time ago. So I decided to do it on my Endora. I think last year or the year before I started it, because that would be a similar colorway to a Murky. And I like it. I didn't change any of the threads. I'm doing it with DMC. So I just have to finish the roof and do some more trees here. But the smart thing would be to just knock this out now and have it done. But I can't finish it because I don't know if it was last year or the year before, really close to it on another section of the fabric. I started, I think it's Blackbird. I know it's Blackbird. Spell of the Moon. It's like a little pin pillow. So I think I'm going to finish this one before I cut the linen and finish them both. So it's fine if I don't finish Farmstead Christmas right now, even though I really have probably just a couple hours left on it. I will do that soon, but not now. So I worked on that. So that's good. I know that'll be done for next Christmas season. See, I'm planning for next year. It's going to be great. Oh, okay. Here's one of my finishes. So this is an old tattered flag. I think I started this in November, right around the time we got back from Hobby House, and I finished it maybe a couple weeks before Christmas. So I just have to like fully finish it, but this is the old tattered flag. I don't remember what it's called. Her punch needle, it's when you buy the pattern or if you buy the kit, it's already printed on your weaver's cloth, so no tracing needed. You just go to town. So, and this one I had the kit, so I did, you know, I didn't even have to buy, you know, I just, the threads, just throw it in the frame and go for it, which is what I need right now. So this I'll probably finish just like something I can throw on the table. It's not going to be a pillow or I'm not going to mount it on anything. I'm just going to back it and, you know, lay it out at Christmas. So that was cute. That was fun. I think I might start a patriotic type punch needle next and just keep that on my frame, and when I get a chance, sit down and work on it. So my other finish, one of the other things I started, which I thought I can do this and probably get it done, and I did. I did C. Strudwick 1894 by the Scarlet House. I did not have a lot of stitching time, and I got this done in just a couple nights. So this could easily be, if you had a nice little long weekend session stitching, you can get it done like that. So here's what's funny. I had time to stitch. I was in the mood to do it. I hadn't prepped anything. I did it with DMC. It calls for Anchor or DMC. I already had the DMC pulled. It's right here. It's just like 4 colors. But I hadn't picked out a linen. The called for linen is Dirty Teacup, which is needle and flax, which of course I have. I just so happened to have a yard of it that was sitting near my iron that had gotten a dye spot on it. So I had pulled it out of my stuff to send off to customers or shops. And I had pulled it out because I could cut it, and it was only like on one little edge of it. And I thought, well, I'll cut that into quarters and I can still send part of it off to customers. But of course, because I was in the mood to stitch, I just grabbed the whole darn thing. So now it's mine. And I have an entire yard. I never cut it. I just have like an entire yard. And I stitched one little corner. So it'll be a pillow. And I just haven't had the time to cut it out of the yard. Then I did start something else on Christmas Day. Not Christmas Day. Christmas Eve? Day before Christmas Eve. I don't know. I had a lot going on. Ugh. You know, when you have adult kids, when you have little kids, it's like little fires you're putting out. Adult kids and big kids, big fires, dumpster fires. And my dumpster fire started like 2 days before Christmas. So, one of those days before the dumpster fire, I thought, I'm going to start a Christmas start, and I'm going to start it now because I don't know when I'll have time. So I was told by someone who saw this finish that this pattern is fantastic finish. So I jumped on 1, 2, 3 stitch, bought the whole kit, and decided I have no idea if it's good. Looks like it probably is good in person. It's La-Di-Da Virtue, and it's cute. It's not huge. I was like, sure, I'll try that. So I started it, and I started it again on Dirty Teacup because I had this bed sheet all ready by my stitching stuff from that other piece. I gotta figure out how to show this to you because, good Lord, I've got to cut this. So I started it. I don't have much done, but I started it, and it's not big. It'll be fun. That'll be a fun one. It's kind of warm, cozy, fallish, wintry colors anyway, so I think that's a good one to work on in the snowy weather. So that was a start. Okay, what else have I been working on? You know, I have to really keep my project bags in order. And I know a lot of you have the same project bags I do. Okay. And I have some finished ones. Oh. One of the other things I started in November, never worked on it in December. Lori Rippey, Homespun Prims by Lori. I had started this release that she had last year. This one is, what is it called? Hospitality and Good Cheer. I have some cool frames like this that are just perfect. And, ooh, since last year I had wanted to do these, but here's my issue. It's not an issue with Lori's pattern, but it's an issue with the stitcher. I goofed up, and it sort of threw me off track, and I set it down. Otherwise, this would have been done this Christmas. There's not a lot of colors. I'm stitching this on Sleeping Bear. Needle and Flax Sleeping Bear. Now I can't remember what the mistake was. Yeah, it's not a mistake. It's a color issue. Maybe it is a mistake. You know what? I can't remember. But I started it. I think it's a color issue. When I pulled the colors, I didn't like the deer and the pineapple and the color of the hat. The colors are very close together. The ones that I have, because there is some over-dyed ear, so Lori's probably is a little different. So I think I want to change, I'm going to change possibly the color of the house. Because the thread I have pulled, it's pretty much the same as these two here. And I'm like, nah, I want the house different. So that's why I stopped that. Probably in the fall, I'll pick this back up and get this done. I'll get this done next year. I think I say that every year about stuff I work on, and it doesn't happen. I had started last time we talked, and I did work on this one on New Year's Day for a couple hours. I started it right around the last time we talked, and that is Dwelling Place Sampler by Teresa Kogut. Love this. Love this. I love Teresa Kogut, but that girl, her and Paulette both design things with such heavy stitching in them. It's worth it, but they don't really move fast. They're enjoyable, but they don't move fast. So this one I am doing on Thornfield by Needle and Flax. And this is all I have done. It's very fun. I'm just going to keep this in my rotation throughout the year. It'll probably take me a decade to finish it, but I love it. So I worked on that right around the time we last talked, and a little tiny bit on New Year's Eve. I worked on the Plum Street, and then New Year's Day I pulled this out for, I don't know, maybe 2 hours and worked on it. And that's it. I had those all when we were at Hobby House. We got the September one, we got a red tote bag, and then the November one, I got a blue tote bag. So, and they're very substantial, but I have 2 tote bags. So that's what I put my whips in to bring out here to show you. I'm actually going to load this up. So I'll show you, I have a couple more haul things, patterns. And I'll show you, okay, so my intention for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day was I wasn't going to do the 12 by 12, but I thought I'm going to pick 12 patterns and just have them in a pile and do whatever I want. So the fun would be picking 12 things that are kind of piquing my interest, having them close at hand, and then settling down. I thought I would be able to settle down maybe from noon on Christmas Eve through midnight and maybe even the next day and just have like a stitching. I have not had a chunk of time like that to stitch in years. And I thought, I'm going to do it. I couldn't do it. Lack of sleep over the, I couldn't do it. It just wasn't possible. I didn't have the time to pick out the 12, but I was determined to get some time in. So I did pull a few things that were kind of interesting me that I would either like to start or work on in 2024. And so I'm going to show you those. That I'm sure will change because that's all whatever, whatever I'm in the mood for at that time. I'm sure it'll change. And as new things come out, whatever. Hopefully one of my next videos, I'm really going to go through, as one of the things I wanted to do on the little Christmas break was organize my stitching, go through my whips, and kind of bring stuff to the top of the pile that I really am either close to finishing or would like to finish. So I'm probably going to do, I'll probably do kind of a whip parade of things that I really have good progress on and should be a focus for 2024. Many of them you've seen a million times, like my Houses of Hawk Run. But I do have a nice little pile of stuff that if I just had some time to spend on them, they could be finished. Okay, so some of my haul, I did get, this is just all, I got all of the new Paulette Stewart Plum Street releases. I also have them on my website, needleandflax.com, if you want some or to add some to a linen order. So I got the New World sampler. Oh, I love it. I have Mayflower ancestors, so this is right up my alley. Oh, love it. Christmas in the Colonies. Had I had time to pull threads and do this would have been a this year Christmas start. And it's so small. Winter Blessings is a new one of hers. And I believe this one's new too. Autumn Joy. I buy all the Plum Street. So if there's ever a Plum Street release that comes out, I probably have it. What do I have here? Okay. So I'll show you a few things. Oh, my other haul. Stacey Nash came out with an autumn like pin keep set on her website. And then she came out right before Christmas, which I actually got just a few days before Christmas with some Christmas items. She probably still has them on her website. That's the only place you can get them. So that's where you'd have to look for them. But of course I bought them all because I also love Stacey Nash. So I got the thread boards. Listen, I don't use thread boards. Why did I buy these? I don't know. They're adorable. The little gingerbread one, adorable. And then she had, this was really kind of cute. This would not take long. But she had this set of 3 ornaments. And it came with the laser cut ornaments. And they're tiny. They're really small. This will not take long to stitch. So this one I may stitch in the off season. I may, this winter I may do it because it will not take long to do this. So that was a little kit. And then I got the fall one. It had a candle. And this one I bought with candle. Stacey's doing candles now. I had to have them. So that was from staceynash.com. Only place you can get them. So that's my haul that I can think of, that I have, that I know. All right. So 45 minutes. I'm going to take, hopefully I can get this done in like 10. Because I do have things I have to go do. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I pulled out for New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, that I never got to pick up or didn't. I just didn't. And I'm kind of in the mood that at some point I'm going to start or work on in the near future. One of the things I thought of starting is this Queenstown sampler, Phoebe Nichols, 1834. Love the house, the border, love that basket of flowers. I have not seen this one in person, but I honestly think this is going to be a showstopper. I picked 40 Count Dusty Road by Seraphim, and I do have the NPI silks. I've actually had it kitted up with the silks for a long time. And this is actually I got this at the Hobby House retreat. There was some nice they had some nice Seraphim linens. I don't know if I bought it at the September or November, but anyway, I bought it at Hobby House, and this is a piece of Dusty Road. So I'm going to do, that's what I chose for that. That'll be a start. Another start, I was gifted, I did an exemplary parade. I love Joanne Harvey exemplary. There's one of her patterns I'm really looking for, which is the Elizabeth Cross sampler. If anybody has that and wants to get rid of it, message me. It's a Williamsburg sampler. It's a house and leafy border. It's one that I really, really want and have not been able to find. I even contacted her through her Etsy shop and said, hey, would you be willing to kit this? And she said she'd get back to me and never did. So I don't know. Eventually I'll get it. But one of the ones that I had wanted is the Elizabeth Cross sampler, and I said it during that video, and actually a friend of mine said, I'm going to gift this to you because I'm never going to do it. And so, it's the older kit, but I have been really dying to start this. I love packed samplers. It's not a ton of colors. I haven't started it because, they come like this. So I have to label I have to take some prep work before I can just jump into this. I'm going to change the linen. I'm thinking probably dirty teacup and label all of these, put them on thread drops and get it ready to go. But I was hoping to do that on New Year's Day because I'm excited about this one. This is another hand-drawn chart. It's hard to adjust. And I believe you can still, well, maybe not. I'm not sure if this kit is on her Etsy shop. Otherwise, why would I get it gifted to me? not that my friend that you know who gave this to me. My friend I know is watching. Not that it wasn't generous and she wouldn't gift it to me even if I could buy it. I don't think, I'm not sure Exemplary ever has this. But again, you can try to email her and find out if she's going to release it or have kits like that on her site. She has not answered me on Elizabeth Cross. Oh, I did pick out a linen. I'm not doing Dirty Teacup. I am doing 40 count Maritime White by Lakeside Linens. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I picked. I mean, that's Lakeside worthy for sure. It's needle and flax worthy too. But let's see, what else did I pull out? Now these, okay, a lot of these are my berry bags, my Stitch Folk bags, which I now have a few of them. When she started doing like pre-orders and stuff, it was much easier to get them. So that first one, I had 2 projects in this. And then this one's in this berry bag. Stitch Folk. I think a lot of us call them berry bags. Oh, okay. I started this summer. This is Plum Street Liberty Welcome. It's a beast, so it's one I really should work on year round. And I have a teeny, teeny, tiny start on it. And it's on Lakeside. It is on Lakeside. No. Okay. It's on 40 Count Just the Ticket by Tabby Cat. I thought I'd started this on Lakeside, but no. It's on Tabby Cat. Very cute. I think it's, I don't know. I'm doing it in the silk too. The NPI. I have another Stitch Folk bag. Look at me. Don't worry, I haven't ditched the plastic. I can't afford to be buying bags all the time. But I had to have some of these. And the thing I like about the Stitch Folk bags is they're so big, you really could have 2, 3, 4 projects in here. It doesn't have to be for one project. Okay, now this pattern, I haven't shown it before because it wasn't available, but I know it's coming out soon. This is a Hands Across the Sea. One of Nicola's last videos, she did say that it is coming out soon, so the beginning of this year. But a friend gifted me Sarah Milthorpe, and this was an exclusive at Sampler Symposium last year at the Attic. So if you're watching this today, January 5th, my guess would be Nicola is probably releasing that this month, and possibly when they do their next Sampler Symposium. She does that a lot. It'll probably be available very soon to purchase. This one I'm doing on Dirty Teacup because my friend did it on Dirty Teacup, and it looked so great that I actually started this way earlier this year, and it's in the 103. She gifted it to me because she knew, I mean, I was chomping at the bit to get this. So I would really like, it's not huge. I would love to get this done this year, this winter. So I didn't show it because it wasn't available and I didn't want anybody getting FOMO, jealous. Not FOMO, that would be wrong. Yeah, I just didn't want people to be like, oh, you got it? Well, now I think everybody's going to be able to get it pretty soon, so I thought I'd show you. All right, here's another, it's like Stitch Folk Mania Berry. I have this one of hers. So pretty. She has such a good taste putting her fabrics together for bags. Okay, so this one is At Home by Brenda Gervais. I think you can get this pattern now. I think it was an exclusive kit, I think from Country Sampler. Okay, so I haven't made any progress on this since it started. I purchased this from Laura Duet. She was doing like a purge of stuff she wasn't planning on stitching soon, and I bought it from her. And started it pretty quickly after I got it and purchased it, but then I haven't picked it up. And this one, no clue what the linen is. Not a clue. Not a clue. Guess I'll figure that out and let you know. I think it came on Vintage Country Mocha. I think the kit was with that. I purchased it without the linen, and I don't know what that is. I'll let you know. I'll figure it out. Let's see. Oh, I pulled this out. This was an exclusive, and I don't know if it's still available. It may be Stitch and Frog. It's a cross-stitch shop. Paulette Plum Street did an exclusive pin pillow for her, and it was a kit called A Fine Spot. I thought that would be cute, like to have out in the winter. Well, you can have it year-round, but Valentine's Day, it's got the pinks and the reds, and it's small. It's just a little pin pillow, and it was a full kit on Vintage Country Mocha. I'm almost done with the Winter Pin Drum by Stacey Nash. She has that whole set. And so I would like to, I put that aside. I just have to finish the house and a little bit of the border, since I'm not going to be displaying that for a year. I put it aside again. I'll probably pick it up in the summer and finish that off and try and get the drum finished before the holidays next year. So what I would like to start, so she has winter, spring, summer, fall. The spring is probably my least favorite piece. That's the one I'll do last. The Christmas is probably my favorite. And I'd say the fall and the patriotic one are neck and neck. I love them. So the next one I want to do is the patriotic one. So I pulled out that kit. I'm in the club with Country Sampler. I pulled out the kit to start that and get it going, because it's a heavy stitching. So I pulled that out. I pulled out this one I'd like to work on this year. This is another Plum Street Nantucket Girls sampler. I've probably shown this somewhat recently. It's fun to stitch. It's a lot. It doesn't look like a lot of stitching. It's a lot of stitching. And so I'd like to work on that this year. I'm doing it with NPIs and Lakeside. I think it's called for. I think it's Vintage Buttercream. Yep, Vintage Buttercream. And I was lucky enough to get gifted some Lakeside because I don't have a ton. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that. There's a lot of wording, and it's heavy stitching, but very fun. I don't think I've ever stitched a Plum Street that wasn't enjoyable. I say that now. Well, you know what? I stitched that Blue Skin, which is George Washington and his horse. I hated stitching that thing. I don't know why. I struggled with that one. I love the finished product, but I did not have fun stitching that. It was rough getting through that one. That's the only one I can think of. Everybody is doing Prairie Schooler, which of course I love Prairie Schooler. I've been stitching them since the 80s for sure. Late 80s, early 90s. I have a ton of Prairie Schooler. You can't go wrong. They're very fun to stitch on. I never did, or never even had the pattern for Winter Wind. And I had thought, well, that might be fun to stitch this winter. And they've, you know, this one's not the cardstock one. Most of my Prairie Schoolers I have are cardstock. And I had this in cardstock. Actually, I had every pattern. And when they announced they were going out of business, the prices skyrocketed on eBay. And I was like, I'm just going to sell the ones I don't think I'm going to stitch anytime soon. Who cares? So I actually listed a bunch. This was like years ago now. Listed a bunch, and then Hoffman got the rights to reprint them. So now any of the ones that I sold that people were really paying a lot of money for, I'm rebuying at a normal price. But hey, I made some money to buy other stitching I thought would be more appreciated at the time. So yeah, DMC, good old DMC. May start that, may not. I'm not feeling that right now. I pulled out because I'm in a sampler mood. I'm actually really in a Scarlet Letter mood. Elizabeth Cheatham. Love this. Such happy colors. Like to work on this again this year. This is 40 Count Cream, one of my favorites. Just as Weigart. Now, Carol Saltbox started this way after I did and is way farther along than I am. Shocker. So, it's just very fun. Bright colors, lots of letters. It moves very fast, actually. I'd love to get back to this. I'd love to get back to my Anne Rayner. I can't find it right now. It's really bothering me. I'm hoping I didn't leave it in a hotel. I don't. We won't even go into that. Anyway, Anne Rayner, I did work on it a bit this summer. I need to go through my stuff and find where I put that. And that's always been my number one to get finished and on the wall. And why I haven't been working on it, I don't know. Other than right now, I can't seem to find it. Oh, that can make me cry. Okay, anyway. Although I have to say, I believe I have a working copy. I have like 2 working copies of the pattern, and I don't think all is lost. At worst, I may have to restart it. Just for those of you crying about Anne Rayner, because it's not an easy pattern to get. Another one I thought of starting sometime soon, Scarlet Letter. I'm in the mood for a Scottish one, and so I thought Helen Virtue would be fun. This is an older one of hers. Love the house and the colors and the border. I love Pact. It's another one that's like booklet form, glossy. So, and I have the Avera Suave for that one. Feeling all silky this year. So I've got that. I would love to work on this one. This one calls to me all through the year. It's very fun. It's monstrous, but man, it does move fast. Hands Across the Sea, Elizabeth Harding. It's fun. Every time I pick this up, I have a lot of fun. I don't know why I ever put it down. And I'm doing it with DMC, 40 count cream. Let's see. It would be nice if I ironed this stuff, but no. So it's not a lot of colors. I've kind of worked down to where I could get the house going. There's a lot of over 1 words, but everything else moves fast. So, and I'm doing the over 1. I'm doing it all in DMC, but the over 1 I'm doing in 103. Just because it's a thinner thread. And I do full crosses. So, this is in a project bag that was a gift. And it says, Creative Carol Designs. So, I didn't purchase it, but it was a gift. It's got the little handle. It's pretty. So I'm using that one. I'm not all Ziplocs, guys. Mostly Ziploc because I'm too cheap. But yeah, it's fun to have a nice project bag. And I think, oh, I pulled this one out. I'm not in the mood for anything spring, but I guess if I did start something springy, I might start Spring Chickens Pin Keep. That's cute. Right now, like decor-wise, I haven't taken down any of my Christmas. Haven't had time to do that. That's driving me bonkers. I have to work all weekend. I'm hoping I can maybe do that. I love doing that and kind of restyling my house a little bit after the holidays and getting the clutter out. This year, there wasn't a ton of clutter because I never got to decorate, which is, that bummed me out this year too. Minor problem. But I like to bring in, we're just starting to get, this winter has been terrible. We do have snow in the forecast. The next 10 days, like next week and like 10 days out, it looks like we'll at least get some spits of snow here and there. So in the winter, I kind of like to do like greens, pines, put stuff in my Crocs that's wintry, candles, cozy, lots of blankets. I don't want it sparse because this is when the weather usually is January, February, beginning of March. Kind of our snowy, gusty, stormy season. So, you know, I'm hoping, I don't know, I'm hoping to kind of focus on that. So I'm not in the mood for spring yet. I'm in the mood for cozy and maybe recapture some of the homey stuff that I kind of missed out on at Christmas. I don't know. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for this weekend. You know, I'll be working 7 days a week from now on. I think my next big break I'm going to take is, like I said, I'm trying to spend time with my kids too. So my son has a midwinter break for President's Weekend. And I'm kind of hoping to take that 4-day weekend off and just kind of chill out at home and make good food and do some stitching and movie watching. President's Weekend, you know me. I love to watch American history documentaries. They used to play them on TV, President's Day, and that whole weekend, they were on TV all over, like the history of America and presidents and Civil War, and they would do all this stuff. And now, for quite a few years, they don't play that stuff on TV. There might be a couple of episodes on History Channel of something interesting on President's Day, but not much. So I kind of have to go into the archives and find stuff, because that's always fun. I did that with my kids when they were little and made them watch it. I don't know if they loved it, but that'll kind of be my next break. Otherwise, I'm just working hard, long hours, hoping life doesn't get too much in the way. Before the holidays, we also had everybody get COVID. I myself did not get it. My son and myself did not get it, but husband and 2 kids got it. Friends got it. I was exposed multiple times over the holidays. I was even telling my friends, we did go, my girls and I, our local movie theater played Polar Express one week. So I was like, let's go see it on the big screen. How fun. I saw it when it came out in the theater, but they were like little when we took them. They don't remember. And so we went to do that, the 3 of us girls. And my daughter kept sniffling, my oldest daughter, sniffling. I'm like, are you crying? She's like, no, I'm really congested. I had ordered a drink, root beer, that she was bummed she didn't order. So the entire movie, she's reaching into my popcorn and she's like sucking on my root beer. The next morning, she gets really sick. Her and her whole group of friends. She's like, I'm dying. I'm terribly sick. And then that afternoon, one of the parents had brought them a basket full of COVID tests and they all had COVID. And I'm like, I was just waiting for that to happen. I'm like, this kid was drinking off my drink the entire movie. I didn't get it. Thank God, knock on wood. So yeah, that's what, now my dog's barking. Okay, I only had to pause it twice this time, toilet paper delivery. And I forgot to show you one thing. I was babbling on about not catching COVID, which you don't even need to know about. But you know, just one of those little things. So I'm going to show you one other thing. I did get a gift from my friend Liz, the Wandering Stitcher. And it was so exciting because, I don't know, it was exciting. She's a good gift giver. Okay, so my gift came in 2 parts. One of them I'm going to show on my First Ladies video because I have part one of Dolly Madison. It's not uploaded yet, but I got to get going on those. I don't want people to think I'm stopped doing them, but I just haven't been able to upload them and do them. So that is one of my New Year's resolutions, is to get a nice handful of First Ladies back into that video series. So of course Liz knows that I love all the history and the patriotic and all that stuff. So she sent me, so one part of the video I will show, I'm going to do like a show and tell. Oh my gosh, I have like a hair in my mouth. Oh. If I edited, I would cut that out, but I couldn't keep talking when I was chewing on my hair. Okay. So she sent me a project bag, and it's way better than a Ziploc. She sent me that. Oh, you guys. I mean, how great is this? How great is this? It's got 2 of my favorites. I have to say, I think George is my favorite. Abe runs a very close second. They're neck and neck. The only reason George wins out is because he's the first, and without George, there would be no Abe. So really, he gets a little small notch up. But love this. This is stitched. I mean, how cute is that? Here's the back. The Liberty Bell, the flag. Oh, oh. Okay. She sent me, we had discussed, we did a little fabric trade. She sent me some Fiber on a Whim. I believe it's Fiber on a Whim. Linen that she wasn't going to use. That is 40 count. We did I think, did we do a trade? We did a trade on that one. Let's see, there's a card in here. Oh, she sent me a David McCullough bookmark. which I will totally use. Love it. It's like embossed. Oh, I love this. And then inside of here was the cutest little strawberry with the cherries, because she visited me in where I live in northern Michigan, Traverse City, and Traverse City is the cherry capital of the world. So she has a little strawberry with the little cherries on it, and her friend Susan from Keepsakes, who's a finisher for Keepsakes. Susan's fantastic. I've gotten to go to 2 retreats with Susan. Susan finished that for her. I believe Susan did this for her. You'll have to correct me, if Liz, if I'm wrong. I think it was Susan. Susan's a good stuffer. She's like an expert hard pack stuffer. Isn't that cute? So it's still in the bag. Again, I haven't cleaned up since Christmas, and I'm going to display this somewhere. I don't know where yet, though. So that, wasn't that nice? I mean, there's probably no better gift than this. I love when people really think about, I mean, any kind of gift is appreciated because it's the sentiment behind it, but when people really find something that speaks to you, it's really fantastic. My son, this is his first year with a job. Yesterday was his 16th birthday. First year with a job, and he bought me a Christmas gift with his own money. It's one of the only, he's the only Christmas gift I got other than friends. You know, my girls are a little older. They're kind of broke. So he bought me a gift, and he bought me the complete set, every season of Bewitched on DVD, which I totally appreciate. So he was pretty proud, and I thought that was just the cutest thing. So the Bewitched box set and this are 2 phenomenal gifts that I got. So those are positive things that happened at Christmas. And that's it. I did an hour and 11. I thought this would be about 45 minutes, but I owe you guys some time. I'm hoping to come back soon. I always make promises that don't seem to pan out because I'm an optimistic person. I'm going to say it again. First ladies, watch for those videos. They are coming. Watch for more Flosstube because I'm going to really try, especially in these winter months, to get a few more videos done. I'm going to try to get some stitching done. I'm pumping out the linen as fast as I can. I'm a one-woman show. If you're waiting on an order, I don't lose orders. So if you're waiting, there's a reason, and it will come. But you can always send me an email if you're really worried about anything, and I can chat with you, or if you, I don't know, if you need to talk to me, you can send me an email. Yeah, and I think that's it. Hopefully January brings some snow and some stitching time and some downtime and honestly some peace of mind. That's what I want for the new year. I want to not be stressed, which I'm on my way there. So I think that's it. And next time, hopefully I'll do like a little whip parade. Maybe I'll have more haul. I'm going to try not to buy as much stuff this year. I didn't buy a ton. I mean, I bought enough last year, but I really don't need anything. I want to go back to a lot of my old samplers, a lot of those sampler patterns I have from the late 80s and in through the 90s and stuff that not a lot of people are stitching on, or older stitchers stitched years ago. They're kind of not on the radar. I'd like to go back to some of those that I have because they're fantastic. And they always get swept aside for the newest, shiniest thing. And I want to do the ones that I love and not the newest thing that's out there necessarily. So I hope you had a great New Year. I hope you had a great Christmas. If not, like I said, I'm in your camp. And we're going to make 2024 a good one, I think. Hopefully. I'm very optimistic about it. So hopefully I'll see you in the next 2-3 weeks, I hope. And if not, I'm not disappearing. I'll be back. So I'm glad to see you all. And I don't know, hopefully you had a good time with me this hour. And I will see you soon. Bye.